Hey, this is your new assignment for the next few days. This is going to be a 2-day assignment. So just wanted to start out with this quote. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Okay, going to your assignment, you will find this assignment on my Canvas page. It's called Kinesthetic Tactile Learning, and it's for the dates of 4/17 and 4/20. So like I said, this is going to be a 2-day assignment because there's quite a bit of information here, and it's going to take you a little while to do this. I did mine this morning so that way you would have a chance to see what you needed to do. So first of all, step one, you're going to watch this video. It's a 3-minute video on YouTube. And this explains the different types of learning. We already talked about one type of learning, which is visual learning. Today we're going to talk about kinesthetic learning, or sometimes you hear it as tactile learning. Okay, step two, you're going to take a quiz on the internet. You're going to use the link below. There are 20 questions, and this should help you figure out what type of learner you are if you don't know already, but I bet you have an idea. Step three right here, you're going to watch an instructional video, which I'm making right now, so I can't put the link on here, but it will be here in blue underneath this as soon as I'm finished. Step four, you're going to look at my sample Google slideshow and create yours. When you are finished, you're going to submit your Google slideshow on Canvas. This is due on 4/20, and it will be a 2-day e-learning assignment, which I already explained. And then the next thing you're going to do is look at my Google slideshow, which I attached right here. So you'll click on that and you should find mine. And mine is just a sample. Mine has a little bit more on there, but if you follow the steps, you'll figure out what you need to have on yours. Here are the Indiana standards for this assignment. Exploring self, analyze factors that impact self-information, and then study skills, listening skills, note taking. And when you're finished with this assignment, when we finish the rest of them, you should be able to say, I can use several different learning tools to learn and study. That's my overall goal for you on this assignment, and I hope this really helps you a lot because I think some of you, even though you might get all A's, you want to find the best way to study because some of you are in sports, some of you have extra activities like maybe 4-H that takes up a lot of your time. So this should probably help you out quite a bit. Okay, now going to the Google slideshow. This is your title page, so you're gonna put Kinesthetic Tactile Learning by and then your name, obviously not mine. And this is the lesson that I've got for you here. What is kinesthetic or tactile learner? A learner. If you are a tactile learner, you learn by touching and doing, using a lot of movement. You understand and remember things through physical, getting out of your chair movement, like actually getting up and moving around. You are a hands-on learner who prefers to touch, move, build, or draw what you learn, and you tend to learn better when some type of physical activity is involved. That's why you might like gym as your favorite class. You need to be active and take quick breaks, such as like getting a drink of water, which is just like maybe a 10-second break or a 20-second break. You often speak with your hands and with gestures, and you may have difficulty sitting still. I've seen some students that prefer just standing in the back of the classroom because they can't sit still and they move around or they move from one foot to the other. Some people will cross their legs, they'll swing their feet all the time. Some people will just kind of move their hands around quite a bit. That's kind of how you figure out that's the type of learner you are. As a kinesthetic learner, you like to take things apart and put things together. And you tend to find reasons to tinker or move around when you become bored. And maybe you're not necessarily bored, you just feel like you've got to move all the time. You may be very well coordinated and have athletic ability. Not in all cases, but in the majority of cases, studies have shown. You can easily remember things that were done, but may have difficulty remembering what you saw or heard in the process. Here are some things that tactile learners like. If you are a tactile learner, this is what you can look at. So participate in activities that involve touching, building, moving, or drawing, constant movement. So you may, we've looked at different careers. Some of my classes have. Maybe, thinking about your future careers. I know some of you are young enough where you're not really thinking about it yet, but you may have to get a job to where you're constantly on the move. Do hands-on activities that like completing art projects, taking walks, or acting out stories. The high school has drama department. Maybe that's something you want to do in your future. You prefer to chew gum, walk around, or rock in a chair while reading or studying. So you're not sitting still, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Except, darn it, at school we can't chew gum, which really stinks, but you know how those people are who spit it on the floor and stick it under the desk. That's why we can't do it. Okay, use flashcards and arrange them in groups. You could use different color flashcards for like different subjects, different types of things that you're learning to show the relationship between ideas. This helps organize someone who is a kinesthetic learner. Trace words with your fingers to learn spelling. They call that finger spelling. Maybe you did that when you were younger, like using shaving cream on a desk, and then you write the word in the shaving cream, and that's how you learned how to spell. Take quick breaks during reading or studying periods. Quick, not long breaks, not like a 30-minute break. I'm talking about like a 30-second break. It's okay to tap a pencil, shake your foot, or hold on to something while learning. Remember, oh my gosh, the fidget spinners everybody used to have. I even had one too because I am a person who is kind of a kinesthetic learner. Not a high on my list, but it's there. This was something that helped kinesthetic learners, the fidget spinners. And then use the computer, reinforcing learning through a sense of touch. You might be the person that likes to type out your notes rather than to write them out. But some people, the studies have shown that people that write are students that write out their stuff, their notes, their vocabulary. They are the ones that remember it better. So remember that you learn best by doing, which is the constant movement, not just by reading, seeing, or learning. So you might very well be that kinesthetic learner. Okay, so here are your directions, fact students directions. You will, number one, you will create a Google slideshow similar to mine. You don't have to actually make this activity, just the Google slideshow. Unless you have siblings that are younger, preschool age, or whatever age you pick, you might want to make something. But for this assignment, to get the grade for it, you're just doing the Google slideshow. Okay, number two, look at my slideshow right now and watch the video. When you are finished watching the video and, go to step three. I need to fix that. Pick an activity. So step three, after you've done all that, pick an activity for one age group. Write the directions for this activity. You will need to be detailed in your directions. Make the slideshow using pictures and words that are detailed. When you finish, submit the slideshow on my Canvas page. So when you're finished, submit the slideshow on my Canvas page. Sorry, my phone just rang. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Step one, you're going to search your activity on a Google search. And I just typed in tactile learning activities and a whole bunch of stuff showed up. I picked preschool because that's the one I wanted to do. Okay, and then I clicked on images right here and a whole bunch of stuff came up. And then the toughest thing was deciding what to do. So step three, this is the activity that I chose, and I titled it Alphabet Search, and I changed mine a little bit because I thought, well, I might not have these big blocks that have the letters on them. So I decided to come up with my own directions. Okay, so for mine, my directions is to find a cardboard box, recycle it if possible. I got something from Amazon one day and I had this giant cardboard box. So I kept a big piece of it and I actually used it for something else. So, but you could use something like this or a big, huge piece of paper. and then you're going to write the alphabet on that depending on the size letters I use to match. So I mean, I could use a small piece of paper, like computer size paper, but I like for kinesthetic learning from this activity, if I were actually making this for a preschooler, I would make it as big as possible. That way they can get on the floor, they can move around, they can stand up, they can get the blocks or the pieces. Okay, and then my next step is to use the internet to write the words correctly with a black marker. I will only do lowercase letters for this activity. My goal for this preschooler would be to get them to learn the letters correctly so that they are prepared for kindergarten. And then I'm going to use another piece of cardboard, just like this right here, to write the letters that are to be matched. So then they would take like the letter E, and they would find the letter E up here and they would match it. There's the letter E. And notice how this one is up here. It's not in alphabetical order. They have it written a little bit, the letters are all mixed up. I would maybe do it in order first, and then as a challenge, I might make another one on the other side to flip it over to have it to where the student would be a little bit more challenged. Okay, step 5, preschoolers ready to use tactile learning. So ask preschooler to get up and match the letters on the small cardboard to the letters on the large piece of cardboard. I would probably need to help the preschooler spread out all of the letters. I could also ask the preschooler to say the letters out loud while touching each letter after they are matched. So the preschooler would touch the U and say U out loud. That would also be another form of tactile learning, is to touch each letter that they say out loud. And then they're using audio actually with that. Okay, so once again, you do not have to physically make this for the preschooler or whatever age group. It's just the Google slideshow. And then you're going to go back to my Canvas page, and there is a submit button down here that will be there. It's not there yet because mine's not finished yet. And that's what your assignment's going to be for 417 and for 420. Talk to you later.